I lost my car keys 3 weeks ago. Not just misplaced them, I mean they vanished. I checked everywhere. Under the couch, kitchen drawers, my car, my jacket pockets. I was late for work, I was frustrated, I was about to call a locksmith and spend $200 I didn't have. Then something inside me remembered a technique I'd learned but never actually used. 30 seconds later, I walked directly to the exact spot where my keys were hiding, not randomly, with absolute certainty, like I already knew. That moment changed everything about how I understand my own mind. That wasn't luck, that wasn't a coincidence, that was Jose Silva's dynamic meditation technique working exactly the way he designed it to work. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how this same technique helped me solve problems way bigger than lost keys. Problems with relationships, financial decisions, health issues, creative blocks, and I'm going to teach you how to use it tonight. But here's what's interesting. Most people know about meditation. Sit quietly, clear your mind, find peace. That's meditation, but that's not what Jose Silva discovered. He found something way more powerful. He found a way to use your meditative mind as a tool, as a problem-solving machine. And the weird part is that it works for everything. Let me back up and tell you the real story of how I discovered this. 6 months ago, I was stuck in a pattern I couldn't break. Every relationship I had would start great and then crash. I'd blame the other person, I'd blame timing, I'd blame bad luck. But deep down, I knew it was me, some pattern I was repeating, and I couldn't see it. No therapist could help me see it, no book gave me the answer. I was broken, and I knew it, and I couldn't fix it. Then I read about Jose Silva, not about manifestation or alpha waves, but about something specific, dynamic meditation. The idea that your meditative mind isn't just for relaxation, it's for solving problems, it's for changing patterns, it's for literally rewiring how you see yourself. I was skeptical, but I was desperate, so I tried it. The technique is simple, way simpler than you'd think. You get into a meditative state using a counting method. You relax, and then instead of just sitting there, you do something. You deliberately work with problems in your mind. But here's the key. You don't just worry about them, you visualize them solved. Jose Silva calls this dynamic meditation, not passive, active. Your mind was designed for organized, dynamic activities. Sitting in peace is beautiful, it contributes to your health, but compared to what's actually possible, it's modest. Real power comes when you train your mind to solve problems while you're in this meditative state. Here's how it works. Before you go to your meditative level, think of something pleasant that happened yesterday or today, something trivial even. Review it briefly, then go into your level and project the total incident onto your mental screen. See the sights, smell the smells, hear the sounds, feel your feelings at that time, all the details. The difference between remembering something in your normal state and recalling it in alpha is almost as great as the difference between saying the word swim and actually swimming. That's the power of meditative recall. Now, here's where it gets practical. Think of something you own that you can't immediately find. Your car keys, your wallet, your glasses. You're not sure where they are. Go to your level, think back to when you had them last. Relive that moment. Now proceed forward in time and you will locate them if they're where you left them. This works every time because your subconscious mind remembers everything. It has a perfect record. You just have to access it in the right state. But Jose Silva discovered something even bigger, something that changes everything. He figured out that if you operate according to specific laws, you can use your imagination to create real results. Not just find lost items, but change situations, solve problems, bring about events you desire. There are 4 laws you must understand. Law 1 is desire. You must genuinely desire that the event takes place. Wishing for something trivial won't work. Your mind won't engage. But wanting your boss to be more agreeable, wanting a customer to be more receptive, wanting to find satisfaction in work you usually hate, these engage your mind. These create the desire necessary for the technique to work. Law 2 is belief. You must believe the event can actually take place. If you don't believe it's possible, your mind will work against it. Your mind knows reality. If a customer is already overstocked with what you're selling, you can't reasonably believe he'll be eager to buy. But if the event is reasonably possible, your mind can engage with it. Law 3 is expectation. This is subtle. This is where it gets dynamic. You can desire an event, you can believe it can happen, and still not expect it. You might want your boss to be pleasant tomorrow. You might know he can be, but you might still be far from actually expecting it. This is where the visualization technique comes in. This is where the magic happens. And Law 4, listen carefully to this because it matters. You cannot create a problem. Not may not, cannot. This is a basic all-controlling law. You cannot do harm in alpha. If you try to visualize something harmful, something negative, one or both of two things will happen. You will get the headache instead of your intended victim, or you will snap out of alpha completely. Your mind won't cooperate with evil intent. It's designed for solutions, for growth, for good. Now, here's the actual technique. Jose Silva gives us 3 specific steps. Step 1. Choose a real problem you face, something that hasn't resolved itself. Let's say your boss has been ill-tempered lately. On your mental screen, thoroughly recreate a recent event which involved the problem. Relive it for a moment, see it clearly, feel it fully. Step 2. Gently push this scene off the screen to the right. This is important, left to right. Your mind experiences time flowing from left to right. The future is on your left, the past is on your right. So you push the problem to the right and you slide a new scene onto the screen from the left. This scene takes place tomorrow. In this scene, everyone around your boss is cheerful. The boss is on the receiving end of good news. He's clearly in a better mood now. Visualize it as vividly as you did the problem. Step 3, push this scene off to the right and replace it with another from the left. The boss is happy now, fully as pleasant as you know he can be. Experience this scene as vividly as if it had actually happened. Stay with it for a while. Get the full feel of it. Don't rush. That's it. 3 steps. Then count to 5 and open your eyes. You have just put forces to work for you in the direction of creating the event you want. Will this work always? No. But here's what happens if you keep at it. One of your very earliest problem-solving sessions will work. You might call it coincidence. After all, the event had to be probable enough for you to believe in. But then it works a second time, and a third. The coincidences pile up. Stop doing it, and the coincidences stop. Go back to it, and they multiply again. As you gradually increase your skill, you'll notice something remarkable. You'll be able to believe and expect events that are less and less probable. With practice, the results become more and more astounding. There's a college student named Tim Masters in Fort Lee, New Jersey. He's a taxi driver. He uses his waiting time between fares for meditation. When business is slow, he puts a solution on his mental screen. He visualizes someone carrying suitcases who wants to go to Kennedy Airport. The first few times he tried it, nothing happened. Then it did. A man with suitcases going to Kennedy appeared. Next time, Tim put this man on his screen, got that feeling when things are working, and along came another one for Kennedy. He said it works. It's like a winning streak that won't quit. That's dynamic meditation. That's what becomes possible when you understand how your mind actually works. I used this for the relationship pattern I mentioned. I got into alpha, I recalled a recent conflict, I relived it, then I pushed it off to the right. I brought onto my screen a new scene. The same situation, but this time I was calm. I was communicating clearly. I was different. I visualized myself handling it with wisdom. I felt the feeling of being calm and capable in conflict. I stayed with that visualization. I got the full feel of it. A week later, I was in a similar situation and something was different. I was calmer. I responded differently. She responded differently. The dynamic changed. That's dynamic meditation. That's your mind rewiring itself based on what you show it in your meditative state. Here's the important thing. Jose Silva says this. Every successful result in mind control becomes a reference point. You hark back to it consciously or unconsciously. You repeat it. You go on from there. So as you work on each problem, begin by briefly reliving your best previous successful experience. When an even better one comes along, drop the earlier one and use the better one. This way, you become better and better. Your skill increases, your ability to manifest increases, your results become more and more remarkable.
This is not about forcing. It's not about willpower. It's about understanding how your mind actually works and then using that understanding to direct your life. Passive meditation is beautiful and it contributes to your health, but that's modest compared to what's possible. Dynamic meditation uses your mind for what it was designed for: organized, active problem solving. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, don't wait. Pick a real problem, something that's been frustrating you, something reasonably possible but that you genuinely like to see change. Get into a quiet place, close your eyes, count backward from 10 to 1 slowly. Feel yourself relaxing. Feel your body getting heavier. Feel your mind getting quieter. By the time you reach 1, you're at your level. Now, relive a recent event connected to your problem. See it, hear it, feel it. Don't judge it, just experience it. Then gently push it to the right. Slide a new scene onto your mental screen from the left. This scene takes place tomorrow or soon. In this scene, the problem is improving. The situation is better. Visualize it vividly. See the details. Feel the feelings. Stay with it. Then push that off to the right too. Replace it with one more scene from the left. This one is the final version. The problem is solved. The situation is how you want it to be. You're experiencing success. Stay with this scene. Experience it fully. Get the feeling of it. Stay there for a moment. Then count from 1 to 5. Open your eyes. That's it. You've just done dynamic meditation. You've put your mind to work on your problem. You've shown your subconscious what you want to create. Now, pay attention to what happens. The coincidences will begin. The opportunities will appear. The changes will start. Do this once, then come back a week later and do it again. Pick another problem or work on the same one if it hasn't fully resolved. Each time you do this, you're building your reference points, you're training your mind, you're increasing your skill. If this technique shifts your problems, if you find yourself solving things you've been stuck on, please support the channel. Buy me a coffee. Help me make more content about these proven techniques. Link is in the description. Though this is not about forcing, it's not about willpower, it's about understanding how your mind actually works and then using that understanding to direct your life. Passive meditation is beautiful and it contributes to your health, but that's modest compared to what's possible. Dynamic meditation uses your mind for what it was designed for: organized, active problem solving. So here's what I want you to do.